All right, it's Bobby. I got shit going right, so I'm
Check.
going to flip it over to my man of the hour, Mr. Jay Oakley. All right, Jay, here we go, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Welcome back, Metal Summoners. Thank you guys so much for continually tuning in and allowing us to do what we do. Well, we're going to jump right back into everything. Of course, we've got Bobby, we've got Psycho Steve, we've got Angel, but we're going to bring in our guest who totally killed it last night at the Jam Out over at the Mercy Lounge. We've got Abby K.
Hi.
First off, how are you doing? How's your weekend been?
I'm very good. My weekend has been kind of crazy. I have not slept very much, but it's been exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about the Jam Out last night.
So that was really cool. Honestly, the coolest part for me was I played on the same stage as Billy Sheehan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I never get nervous for shows. That's just, I don't know. I just don't. This was the first time I've ever been nervous. I was so shaky up there because I knew that Billy Sheehan is hearing me play bass right now.
Right.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, for sure. I'm a bass person myself, and I definitely know that. But we got guitar players, we got drummers, and whenever you're playing on a stage that somebody else has played,
Yeah.
let alone when that person is present,
Yes.
it absolutely is. It's a shaky situation for sure.
Yeah.
But you pulled it off beautifully. You did fantastic. You were a
Thank
lot of
you.
fun to watch for sure.
Thank you.
Psycho Steve.
So what made you pick bass?
So I was around 12 years old, and I was like, okay, Dad, you have to take me to a concert. We can't keep doing this no concert thing. So he took me to see Kiss.
Awesome.
And-
Smart man. What year was this?
I was 12, so
Yes.
2014.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I vividly remember I was wearing the Paul Stanley makeup, and it was so hot, so it was running down my face. I was sitting on my dad's shoulders, and I was just mesmerized. And a lot of people then asked by Gene Simmons, but actually no, just by the whole extravaganza, whole Kiss.
The theatrics, the whole
Yeah, it
the
was
whole
just
show.
so amazing.
It's not just their music.
You know, same thing about me and barbecue. I went to the best barbecue restaurant for the first time I had it, and now I don't like any other kind. But it's like all of these other concerts I go to now, it's like they're not Kiss.
We all say that.
Like,
You
I
get
was
it-
so
yeah.
spoiled with the first concert I went to is the best concert you can have.
Right.
Yeah.
That was my first concert. I was 6 years old. Eric Carr's first performance.
Wow.
711 Kiss concerts later. Yeah,
Is that a real number?
that is a real number. Every state except
What?
Delaware. Yeah, I'm going to Connecticut at the end of the month, and then I'm also going to Atlantic City
Oh,
at the end
man.
of the month
I've
as
only
well.
been to 4.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I've also took my kids to see them because it's a generation thing. My father
Yeah.
took me. My bucket wish, if I ever became a dad and someone let me fertilize them, said I'm going to take my kids. And took my
Yeah.
oldest son to his first show in Raleigh because I lived in South Carolina.
Yeah.
And they didn't play in South Carolina that year. So then I took him to Raleigh. And then my youngest son was born in South Carolina. And then when we moved up to Jersey, I was like, you know what? They saw him on America's Got Talent. They freaked out.
Yeah.
And they called me from my ex-wife's house. They're like, Dad, can we go to their concert? I'm like, who? Like, guess who's on America's Got Talent? I'm like, oh yeah, Kiss. Can we go? Sure, but tickets are really expensive. And I lost my hair and the money in the divorce. I'm like, you make a promise to me. You do good at school. It's not on a school night. You keep driving your mom crazy. I'll take you.
Yeah.
And guess what? They went and freaked out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they got to meet them, everything like
Oh,
that.
wow.
Gene knew their names, everything. He fist pumped them, and then my kids look at me and go, Dad, Gene Simmons knows our name. I'm like, that's your grandfather, show some respect. So they gave him a big hug, and then Paul Stanley and the rest of the guys came up. Look, it's Psycho Steve and the Little Monsters, and they all came. Eric gave my kids drumsticks.
That's
Tommy
so
gave
cool.
some pics. It was really cool. And there's the photo.
Ah,
Oh,
very
wow.
cool.
Yeah. So there you go. Back to you, Angel.
Thank you, Steve. What a great story. Again, we're all Kiss fans in our own way. My question for you is, what was the experience like of being at Grammy Camp, and what was your biggest takeaway from it?
So Grammy Camp was really cool. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I've heard that it's 2,500 musicians under 18 apply.
Wow.
80 got in, and of those 80, only 3 of them were bassists, and I was one of
Wow.
the bassists chosen.
Very cool.
So,
Holy cow.
and that was when I was, I believe, 16, so a few years ago. And it was so incredible. I got to meet people and learn from people from Earth, Wind, and Fire. I got to work with Megan Trainor. I know she's not in the rock and roll scene, but it was still really
What
cool.
a voice that girl has.
Yeah.
I know, and
Absolutely.
Grammy Camp honestly opened my eyes about songwriting. Before that, I just wanted to be a hired gun bassist in whatever band would take me. And then after that, it really opened my eyes, and I was like, no, I want to be that band. And so I started writing my own music, and yeah, I mean, now I have 6 singles released and my first album coming up, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Continue right into that with the Abby K Band and what you can tell us about your upcoming album and your singles.
Yeah, so we do have the first 6 singles out, and we have another one coming August 25th. I haven't said that yet. But you know what? You guys are cool because my best friend told me you guys are cool, so I'm going to go ahead and say the song is called Because of You. It's
Awesome.
the heaviest song that we have so far. And then, so we had a lineup change in March. So the first 4 songs with the new lineup change, that was Pay Attention, Dodging a Bullet, I Swear, Because of You, and then we have another one coming out later this year. So those 4 songs are going to be on our debut album. We have 8 other songs that nobody's heard before that are also going to be on there. So it's going to be a fun process, but also a long process, doing a 12-song album. But we are hoping to have that released early 2022.
Nice,
Wow.
absolutely. Well, definitely don't be a stranger. Anything that you want to put out, that you want to push, 100% hit us up, and we'll
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
take care
Part
of
of
that.
the
Thank
family
you.
now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we have to thank the Wilk family. You know, Shannon,
Yes.
Jody,
Yes.
April
Yep.
is the
Love those
one
guys.
that she said, "Oh, Uncle Psycho says." So yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely, for sure. Bobby Dreher.
So I'm going to throw this out. Being the gear nerd of the thing, and the guitar aficionado of loving everything, and now I'm very thankful for being on with part of the Gibson family. So one thing I'd like to talk about. Oops, that was Bobby. Bobby unplugged your headphones for a second. Bobby's effing up the whole day. So I'm going to ask you the gear question right now. We got a bassist sitting right next to me. Favorite bass to play? I know the one you have in your hand at the moment.
Yeah.
But what is that bass that you go, ooh, there's so many out there. I'm a big Gibson guy, Warrior guitars, everything. But what is your favorite bass to play?
So honestly, I was completely sold on Schecter. I own 2. I was working on getting my 3rd, and then I played a Lakeland, and I never thought it would get better than Schecter. And it's not that it's better; it's just so much different. And it's, I don't know, it's like a style that I've never really thought that I would play, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of people that play Lakelands are jazz or pop, but you know what? I'll take it to rock and metal.
Well, here's the thing. Is it because of Geezer?
Not really, honestly, because I am not a gear nerd. I'll be the first to tell you that. I know that's kind of bad. I don't know much about gear, so I didn't even know that he played a Lakeland.
Wow.
Nope, didn't know that. So, I mean, I just went to the store. I just picked it up, and I was like, oh, this is my bass.
No, I definitely get it, because I mean, I've got all kinds of stuff from Epiphones to Thunderbirds, Gibsons. I've got Dean basses. I've got completely custom stuff that's made
Yeah.
by an independent contractor and stuff like that. But my ride or die that I will take to my grave is actually a Silvertone.
Wow.
It's been my longest standing bass. The mechanics are fantastic. They're clean. It's got 2 knobs and 4 strings, because my custom is a blood splatter design that I call Alice, and
Yeah.
it's based off a Gibson SG design.
Oh,
so it's
that's
got
cool.
4 knobs and the tone switch, and I'm like, I hate knobs. They
Yeah.
bother me. I'm like, I want a volume and a volume, and like if I need to adjust, like, you know, my treble or bass or whatever,
Yeah.
like that's really all I need. That's really all I want. You know, my Dean, as much as I love it, because that's my filthy bass. That's like my metal. If I want to get loud, it's got 5 knobs on it, and I'm like,
Wow.
this is stupid.
Those are bass need 5 knobs
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how I am.
Yeah,
Yeah,
play
Abby, the
bass.
second part is so who's that bass player that made you go, yeah, that's it.
So
Horns up.
I should say Gene Simmons because he inspired me to play bass, but Steve Harris of
Nice.
Iron Maiden.
Very cool.
Good
a lot
to
of
live
times-
up to.
Yeah, people will say that I'm the love child of Lita Ford and Steve Harris. And I don't know if you can tell, but a lot of my music is influenced by those 2 bands as well.
Absolutely.
Now,
Yeah.
do you write all your own material? Are you writing?
For the most part, yes.
That's great.
The first 2 years, I definitely wrote 100%, but now that we had the lineup change, some business things had to happen. It's probably more of a team effort now.
Nice.
The new album that we have, that's definitely team effort.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Absolutely, for sure. How do you what are your current like plans? You know, again, you've got time on your side, so
Yeah.
you're definitely good there. So I always keep this question really just more in a realistic chill zone. If you're just kind of casually looking over the next 3 years, how do you kind of want it to play out? More music first, bigger and better shows? What's just kind of your casual plan?
So even just going towards my next 6 months, I have a single release. I have some more shows. I just opened for the Iron Maidens last week, so we're hoping
Awesome.
to do some more things like that. We're hoping to do a tour this winter. It's not officially confirmed, but it is in the works. And then we're actually moving to Nashville in March.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have a lot of things coming up the next 6 months, and then really once we move to Nashville, I mean, that opens just a whole new world for us. So we don't really want to set our expectations too high or too low because we really have no idea what could happen.
Absolutely, 100%. Psycho Steve.
All right, so we talked about Jody, talked about April.
Yes.
And of course, we have to talk about Miss Shannon. Do you ever see her going to be on any of your music because you guys are so tight?
So she might kill me for saying this, but we're actually working on something right now.
Awesome.
So-
Another exclusive. All right, sorry.
So we're actually doing a collab right now. It's Shannon, myself. AP Tobler is a drummer in California. We're working on Breaking the Law by Judas Priest. Hopefully
Awesome.
that'll be out in the next month, I would say. Of course, like, as soon as we decided to do it, she just went ahead and did her parts, sent it right to me. She was like, okay, I'm done. Get your parts to me. And she's my best friend, so I can be a little hard on her sometimes. I'm like, Shannon, I have things to do. And so I told her I would get to it after last week we were in New York and now
Right.
in Nashville. So I was like, let me get through these next 2 weeks.
Right on. Because I love watching your YouTube, not your YouTube, Instagram videos,
Yeah.
her Instagram videos, because I have no musical talent, you know, I have the perfect face for radio, and I'm just like, I show my sons that, because my sons are 12 and 9.
Yeah.
I'm like, I bought my oldest son a guitar last year for Hanukkah, and I'm like, see what you could do?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's so much fun. You can have fun doing it.
Yeah, that's
you don't
awesome.
you have talent and intelligence, not like your father. Do something with it, and then you guys are in such an inspiration. Like, you told us who inspires you. Do you have like fans your age that come to you and say, you make me pick up a guitar or bass?
So I guess I haven't really had experiences that they've told me, but there's been times where I just knew.
Right.
A lot of times, especially at my like acoustic shows that I do, there will be like a lot of little girls there. I do shows at like breweries, like family-friendly events, and so.
And you're
there's-
going out playing Breaking the Law. I love it. It's so rock and roll. Oh, it's family friendly.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to play Rain and Blood. Yeah.
So a lot of times the little girls will just come in front of the stage and they'll just dance with their friends and do cartwheels, and I don't know. That's always a happy moment for me. I always make sure to get pictures with them after the show.
Awesome.
Future rock and roll.
All right, back to you, Angel.
Thank you, Psycho Steve. Have 2 quick questions for you. One is, what is the best music advice that you have had? And second, Have you ever toyed around with trying a 5-string bass or
I
6-string
play a
bass?
5-string.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very
Because
cool.
everybody says 4-string. So
I know.
what kind of got you into the 5-string bass?
Honestly, it's really embarrassing. I started playing bass, and the band I was in, they decided to do I'm Just a Girl by No Doubt. And that song is in drop D. I had been playing for about 2 days. I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm messing with these tuning things. So, man, this really is embarrassing. I got a 5-string because I didn't want to tune.
Okay,
But
that makes sense.
Now,
Not a tuna.
now that I've worked with it more, honestly, a lot of my original music is mainly on the B string.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what so far has been the best music advice that you have gotten?
So, I know it's like a cliche thing, but I opened for Nita Strauss back in 2018 and 2019. But the first time I did, she actually got on stage with me and played The Trooper by Iron Maiden. And after the show, she came up to me and she said, "Never give up." And I know that's so like cliche, like I can say right now, never give up. But those 3 words changed the way that I thought of life and music, and I won't give up because she told me not to.
Mine, does that hurt? No, sorry.
Bobby, it's early, dude.
And I'm out without a cocktail.
And he's not drinking right now, everybody, believe it or not. Bobby Dryer has not had any alcohol today. Yet.
Yeah.
So, the day is young and so are you, so.
Absolutely, 100%. So how do you spend some of like your downtime? Are you very just music oriented when it comes to your school or tour or rehearsal time? Are you a movie person?
I don't have downtime.
Love it.
So actually, towards the end of quarantine, I actually was working 5 jobs, and then, yeah, I definitely quit that very quickly because I just couldn't mentally handle that. But I started really taking music seriously. This was about probably December of this past year is when I was like, okay, I've worked enough. I just need to take music to the next level. And so now, like, a lot of people are like, well, I only see you play bass like an hour a day. But, like, you have time to go hang out? No, I don't.
Right.
Like, I feel like the music industry, only like 10% of a music career is playing music. I probably spend 6 to 8 hours a day just sending emails, coming up with ideas,
Yeah.
creating content. It's a full-time job.
Absolutely, 100%. And you have to take it as one for sure.
Yeah.
You know, you definitely want to, you want to drive for things. You always want to plan things out. And same thing with us. I mean, yeah, we're a weekly show, but we talk every day.
Yeah.
We're shooting guests back and forth.
Mhm.
If one of us thinks of a guest that we think would rock for the show that might not stylistically be a thing, we're really open with the channels where it's like,
Yeah.
I want to bring this person on. Here's my thinking behind it.
Mhm.
And it's just kind of a yay or nay kind of thing, but it's pretty much always a yay because we're
Yeah.
open for everybody.
And we,
Yeah.
and we love to learn. So I got to give you credit right now for being a female artist out there. It's I was had the opportunity the last couple days to be over at Gibson. I don't know if you had a chance to go over to the new Gibson Garage.
No,
which
I
is
haven't.
mind-blowing. Good friend of mine, L. John Go. He's the head of A&R with Epiphone and Kramer. But they're telling me 2 of the models that they can't keep in right now is Emily Wolf's guitar.
Yeah.
Can't keep Emily's in, and Lizzie Hale. And Lizzie just
Wow.
became the first female ambassador for Gibson guitars,
Yes.
which is incredible. David Ivory, who I work with, David found Lizzie, her and AJ and everything. But Lizzie's came just an amazing force to be reckoned with. She, Amy Lee from Evanescence are out
Yeah.
on tour, Joan Jett. But it's great seeing women like yourself out there kicking ass, and we love it. And the Metal
Thank
Summit
you.
loves you, and we want to have you guys. We embrace that you guys are doing it. What we'd love also to see is more women in the production and taking that too. So,
Yeah.
all right,
Absolutely. Real quick, Abby, where can you be found?
At Abby K Rocks on all social media, abbykrocks.com, and all of my music is under Abby K. Anywhere you can hear music, you can hear mine.
Awesome. Well, Abby, thanks so much for spending some time with us this weekend.
Thank
Good luck with
you.
everything. Reach out. Don't be shy. And we look forward to giving you a full episode and touching base with you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you,
You're
Abby.
so very welcome. Thanks as always, guys. We'll see you in a little bit with Don Jameson. As always, you know you're watching the Metal Summit.
Yeah.